So the whole idea with the I Choose Love movement that I've created is about really keeping it very simple and starting with choice. I choose to love myself. I choose to live in honor, which means I love myself without hurting you, and I love you without hurting me, and then the earth as well. The second one on there is I choose to create loving relationships. How do we relate with one another in the world right now from a place of heartfulness and love? Well, it starts with consciousness, and again, the choice to love, and understanding that, you know, we project our wounds onto other people, and when we begin to take awareness and responsibility for our projections, we begin to have choice and say, okay, I can get the gift in what you're showing with me. Great example is this, is I remember sitting in a circle one time, and this woman was doing a piece of work, as I call it, on releasing hatred. She had this hatred, and I had such judgment about her where she was in her life, until I realized is that, oh my God, it was like I have judgment about my own capability of holding hatred in myself. And so as I embraced that, I felt this incredibly deep connection with her, and we became fast friends, and it was a very honorable experience. So it was like, once again, I was in a safe place where I could explore the shadow side of humanity and my own humanity, and allow my heart to open and embrace that within myself, which ended up creating a bond or a recognition or a remembrance of the connection I had with this woman, and we moved forward together in a loving way. So creating loving relationships from true honesty and being able to voice those shadows in a safe environment is very critical, in my opinion, on the way. And we've lost that in our culture. We've lost it, you know, and it's been kicked out of us, it's been, you know, hammered out of us, and now it's time to embrace it and understand that if we don't do it, we're going to create a whole lot more situations like 9/11, which was a vastly huge experience for me in my life, in the sense that the song that I wrote, I Choose Love, came from that. It was a wake-up call for humanity, in my opinion. Which way do we want to go? We can create more fear in our lives and create more 9/11s over and over and over again, or we can begin to take responsibility for our fear, choosing love and saying, okay, you know, I think I'm ready to shift into a different way of being in my life. So anyway, we come into what I would call the third aspect of the I Choose Love movement, which is about creating conscious community. And community in the sense that, how do we hold heartfulness? How do we hold compassion for one another as we're going through these incredible shifts within us, these healings? And again, I like to say it's like we're all leaders. We're all, I would like pods, like dolphins in a way. It's like we're grounding this consciousness in small communities at first, and hopefully it will branch out as we do it individually, and then in small communities it branches out into our larger communities. But how do we create living community? And again, I think it's getting real and honest and beginning to meet in these circles where we can let out the wounds, we can let out the hurt, so that once again we can remember our joy and what we really came here to experience. So understanding that as leaders, we all share that leadership role, where it's like, you know, sometimes I'm feeling really, I'm in my process and I need someone to hold for me. And I have a community of people with me that can do that, so that they can guide me in to find my own truth, so that I can transmute and transcend that energy, that fear, and step into my power and bring that forward so other people can benefit from that. And then there's other times when other people in my community, they're hurting, and I hold for them. So as we take turns in community, we bring this unconditional love forward in a way that can really shift and transform consciousness. So it's important to have great community. The other thing is it's like love begins with me, and I also feel like I'm beginning to have more of a responsibility for the country that I live in, and understanding that it's, you know, it's my privilege to be here. And what can, you know, I love what Kennedy said years ago, in the sense of like, it's not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? And I think we're at a place right now in this unity consciousness movement where I would like to invite not only myself but others to stand up and begin to call out fear in our country. It's been used against us in our advertising, in our businesses, and our religions. And it's time to transcend fear and come to a sense of true freedom. It's interesting, and as I'm growing older, the more I understand what's happening, the more freedom I require and create for myself in my life. It's really important to have full freedom. That way my whole heart can blossom. The high heart, as I like to call it, can really blossom. And again, that starts from that place of choosing to love myself and seeing the ripple effect. And it's also time, in my opinion, to love and honor the earth that we live on. You know, I have such a passion for technology that will take us beyond fossil fuels. And, you know, when I think in terms of, like, for instance, the Pacific Ocean, there's a spot in the Pacific Ocean that's the state of the size of Texas, that's plastic bottles. How do we, you know, come together as a community and begin to honor the earth and do things differently so that we're not living in a garbage dump, really? And it's interesting, Bruce Lipton, I think it was Bruce Lipton and his partner, I forget his name, Spontaneous Evolution. They wrote something about, you know, it's when the children of God have to become the adults of God now. You know what I mean? And it's like, what that says to me, it's like, you know, as children, you know, if we're really given guidelines and support to keep our rooms clean, then there's a sense of, like, I'm proud of myself for doing this. It's the same thing right now. I think as adults, it's time to clean up our room, because I want to leave this place really, really great for the children and, you know, my grandchildren and my grandkids' children. And it's like, I think there are some simple things that we can begin to do as a community to love this earth. And of course that trickles into the last segment, which is loving the universe, or loving love itself. And how do we come together in service? What is my mission? You know, and my mission and my purpose is to heal. First and foremost, I'm an initiator to the healing process, to actually allowing love into my life and assisting other people in showing them how they can do that for themselves. And my mission is to heal, and to not only heal myself, but heal others, assisting them in healing themselves, and to do that through the arts. So I have a song that I created, again, after 9/11, called I Choose Love. And I would invite anyone to embrace this song as you're moving through your transformational process, and allow it to nurture your soul.
I can see laughter, or I can see tears. I see a choice, love or fear. What do you choose?